Where is your upsell? Now, unfortunately, from time to time I see on Facebook groups and forums and all those different places where writers hang out, I see a lot of writers complaining that, they mightn't have sold many copies of their book, but they're happy with the few copies that they've sold, or they look at somebody else who is making an absolute killing on the Kindle store and they would love to, give up that 9-to-5 job and to do writing full time, but they kind of look at those people in, complete amazement, saying, how can they do that? How can they make money from writing when I can't do it? And I do feel sorry for those people, but unfortunately some of those people are kind of hanging out with too many authors and writers and not actually looking outside the market as to what they can do to be more competitive or to make more money from their writing. Now, what I mean by your upsell is, as you're probably well aware, sometimes if you do maybe go to, for example, even McDonald's, if you go to the drive-thru in McDonald's and you have your basic order, you usually will find the staff will try and supersize it, or they will try to add in fries, or they will try to add in this or try to add in that, and because of that then they can make you spend more money, so they're making more money themselves. So I don't know who I heard it from one time. They had said that McDonald's, in advertising, it costs them something like over $1 to get somebody to go through their drive-thru. So straight away McDonald's is losing money, especially if maybe they're doing maybe $1 meal deal or whatever. So if somebody did come through the drive-thru and they only bought the $1 meal deal, well then McDonald's maybe either broke even or they made a loss. So they knew that for them to make a profit on their ads, they would need to, have some additional things they could add on. Again, supersizing a meal, maybe adding a dessert or whatever it is, but all those little add-ons would make a big difference and it would make all their advertising profitable. But unfortunately I see a lot of authors who don't look at what McDonald's is doing, because they've only got one product at one price. And for example, if they are buying maybe Amazon ads or they're paying some kind of for advertisements at all, they just can't make it pay because they're paying out more than they're actually getting in. And the reason is that they don't have any upsells. Now, what do I mean by upsells in the writing game? Well, if you are someone who is maybe a fiction writer, say for example you had a book on weight loss, dog training, grooming, whatever it is, there's no reason why you can't have an additional training course in the background. Now again, if you've gone back through these podcast episodes, you will have heard me mention things like this before, but sometimes you do need to kind of repeat that thing over and over again before it sinks into people's head. If you have a non-fiction book on one of those topics, there's no reason why you can't sit down today, create a video series explaining exactly, take it chapter by chapter and explain it exactly what you need to do in each chapter. Maybe sometimes you might need to do maybe a physical demonstration because you can't actually explain it as well in kind of text. So why not do it in a video, and then you could have that as your upsell. So when somebody buys your non-fiction book, again, you could be competing with everybody else. Maybe you're selling your book for $4.99 or $9.99 and you're basically just breaking even on your ads. At the back of your book you should have in bold writing, come and download my training course, or come purchase my training course at $97 or $67 or $197, whatever price you are looking to charge for your training course, so that when those people go through that, they're almost like turning up for the $1 kind of burger deal like at McDonald's. When they get to the end of the book, they're asked, do you want the training course to go with this? And you will find if you provide additional things at the back of your book, upsells, downsells, all those different things you can add to your book, you will find that you will start making more money. And again, as Dan Kennedy says one time, the person who can spend the most money on their ads is the person who is going to win. So if me and you were competing in the Amazon store today and you were at your maximum of maybe 30 cents for every click or every visitor that went to your book page, and you could only afford that much, but that's because you are only selling your book and you're basically breaking even on that. If I have maybe a training course on the background and I find that maybe for every 10 people that go through my book, one of them buys that training course for $97 or whatever, you can imagine how much profit I can afford to spend on the ads. And no matter how high you go with your ads I can always spend far more because I am making more money from my book, and that is due to the upsell I have at the back of my book. So if you are a fiction writer, a non-fiction writer, low content book publisher, whatever, get a pen and paper today and try and think of some upsells that you can create. Even a colouring book, somebody who is selling colouring books, there's no reason why you can't have a video course where you could show somebody maybe how to colour their colouring books in better. You will find some people who have, again, I didn't even realise it until recently, but I had come across a lady who was showing you how to pick the perfect pencils to colour in your colouring piece, kind of pencil techniques, how to just kind of, gently just kind of draw wee lines or whatever it was. But the technique that she showed was amazing. It actually lifted a kind of a blank kind of black and white illustration. The way she coloured it was amazing, and again, she had spent a long time doing it. So you could have something like that. Even if you are a colouring book author, you could have some kind of training course where you're showing your buyers how they can get the most out of their colouring books, how to colour them in better, and then even when they do maybe finish off that piece, you could show them how they could frame it, how they could maybe turn it into a t-shirt, how they could get it on the front of a t-shirt or a mug or some kind of wall art or something like that. So you could have all these additional upsells even though you are somebody who is just selling colouring books. And you can well imagine if you were selling colouring books and you need to buy ads on Amazon, you can imagine how high you could go with your clicks or your cost per click, because you are making so much money on the back end. So give that some thought today. If you're competing with everybody else and you're just not making your ads, they're just not profitable anymore. Everybody seems to be, broke because they're all competing. They're all trying to be the cheapest in the market. Maybe it's time to have some upsells on the back end, training courses, MP3s, whatever, maybe some kind of monthly kind of scheme. So for example, maybe if I was somebody who was selling maybe planners or journals or something like that, maybe I could set up a kind of monthly kind of almost a Netflix subscription thing where somebody pays every month and I give them tons of free content. I give them loads of journal pages, planner pages or whatever, but I get a monthly commission every month. So I'm not competing with everybody in the Amazon store because I've taken my customer off Amazon, I've taken them over to my website, and I'm not sharing my profit with Amazon. All those monthly payments are going straight into my PayPal account or my bank account or whatever, because I have set up this monthly scheme. So get your thinking cap on today. What are some video courses, training courses, memberships, maybe some kind of thing where maybe people pay maybe to ask you questions or whatever it is? You could set something like that up and have it as an upsell at the back of your book, and make sure that when your reader does buy your book that they are well aware that you have that in place, and that you try and make it as inviting as possible to get them over to your site and then start selling all those upsells to them. Now you may have said to yourself, well, I don't feel comfortable doing that because that feels a bit like a car salesman, but I'm here to tell you, if you had a colouring book and I could show you how to make your colouring images far more attractive than you're doing right now, if I could show you some pencil techniques, if I could show you the best pencils to buy, if I could show you how you could turn that piece into a wall art, I'm sure you would be very interested in that, if that was what you were interested in. So do you really think somebody isn't going to say, well, no, don't push that pencil course on me because I'm not interested in it, or no, don't push that kind of wall art course on me because I'm not interested in it? I'm sure your audience will be really interested in it. And if you're not too sure, why don't you maybe just survey a few of them, find out what they like as well, or what products they would like, and then at least when you do create those products, it's just kind of pushing an open door because you know exactly what they're looking for. So give that some thought today. What is your upsell? Have as many upsells as you can, because as I said, some customers will maybe spend a few dollars with you, some customers will spend hundreds of dollars with you if you give them what they're looking for. And again, if you don't give them what they're looking for, they're going to go somewhere else and find it. So it should be you that should be collecting that cash and not somebody else. So again, if you're having trouble with your ads or making your business profitable right now, if you're just competing with everybody else and you just can't make it work and you're just maybe on the verge of dropping out, start coming up with some upsells, some larger purchases that your buyers can make, and I'm sure that will turn your business around. So as always, if you'd like to find more of this great content, if you are watching this on YouTube, you probably see a bell or something, I'm not too sure what it is. Click on it and subscribe to the channel, and I'll send the next couple of videos to you. Or if you are listening to this as a podcast episode, again, hit subscribe on your iPod machine, and again, I will send all the next couple of pieces of content over to you. So as always, have a great day, thanks for your time, and start working on your upsells. Take care, bye bye.